ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everyone in between, this is why you never settle! Hey guys, it's Alexis here, and I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but, I had started school back, and, just have a lot of personal things going on in my life, so I just haven't been making any videos, but, I'm going to be making this one because it's one that I've wanted to do for a long time. This video is long overdue, and it's just time that I finally make this video. So today, I'm going to be talking about Tohru and Kyo from Fruits Baskets and how they literally redefine love for me, redefine love for you, redefine love for the ages. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So before we talk about anything, we first need to get into what Fruits Baskets actually is. By the way, I have some notes, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So, Fruits Baskets is a manga series created by Natsuki Takiya, and it had a 2001 anime adaptation, but it did get a 2019 reboot. So basically, of course, before I actually get into the characters Tohru and Kyo, I have to explain exactly what Fruits Basket is, like what's the plot. So the best way to explain it, basically it's a series about a girl named Tohru Honda. And at the start of the series, it has been a year since her mom died. And so she's basically living by herself on some property in a tent because she didn't want to burden her grandfather. Or no, yes. She didn't want to burden her grandfather or her friends, because her house is getting renovations, and her grandfather was like, oh, you should, can you stay with some friends while, the house is getting renovations? And she didn't want to burden her friends, so she, lived on a tent on her own. Nobody knew anything about that. But turns out, she is on the property of the Somas. And, people who live in the house are Shigure and Yuki Soma. Now, the Somas are a family, clan, basically, and I'd say they're relatively wealthy. They got money, something like that. I don't know. But soon, Tohru finds out that the Soma family, or at least some of the people in the Soma family, are cursed by the 12 zodiac animals. So some of them are cursed by the animals, and what happens is when someone who is cursed by the zodiac hugs someone of the opposite sex, they turn into that animal. So for example, Yuki is the rat, and so if Tohru were to hug him, he would turn into a rat. So yeah, that's basically a brief explanation about what Fruits Basket is. So now we're going to get into the characters. Okay, also I know that was a lot to take in, but bear with me. I know it was a lot of information to process and I was talking fast. But anyways, first, we're going to talk about Tohru. Now, as I mentioned before, at the start of the series, Tohru, she actually lost both of her parents. She lost her dad when she was very young, so she doesn't really remember him that much. She remembers him vaguely, but, not really. But her mom, she was very close to her mom. But, the start of the series, it would have been a year since her mom had passed. And like I said, at the start of the series, she was living in a tent and now lives with the Somas. And she moved in with the Somas, because they let her stay there as long as she cooks and cleans. Whatever. And the thing I love about Tohru is just, she is so kind and selfless, and she's very self-sacrificing. Like, she just doesn't want to burden anyone else around her. And the fact that she deserves so much more than what life has given her, and yet she still smiles every day. Like, she's still very kind to others, even if they're not that kind to her. And she's very perceptive, and she's very empathetic, I will say. Like, it may seem like she's pretty dense. I mean, to some extent, yes, she is pretty dense. But she be spitting out some wisdom, too, and she does her best to help other people. Like, she's basically a therapist for everyone, which it shouldn't be that way. Like, she needs someone to lean on, too. She really does. And that's where Kyo comes in. Let's talk about him, because there's a lot to get into with Kyo. And also, there's a lot to get in with Tohru, too. Again, like I said, she's very self-sacrificing. And but that her being self-sacrificing means that she will put others before herself, like way before herself. She's like, oh, don't worry about me at all. Don't worry about me at all. I'm fine. But she'll be so worried about everyone else that, doesn't care for herself that much. But let's get into Kyo. My favorite character. Also, I forgot to mention, before we get into Kyo, I forgot to mention that I wish I could be like Tohru. I wish I could be like her, but alas, I'm a horrible person. So that's never happening. Anyways, let's talk about Kyo. Okay, so Kyo is part of the Soma family, and he is the zodiac cat. Now, the cat is a special case because of the way the story goes. Basically, to sum it up briefly, all the animals zodiac were invited to a banquet or whatever, and who was it? It was the rat who told the cat, I think, the wrong time or something like that. And so everyone showed up and to the banquet, and the cat was, didn't get to go, was late, whatever. And so that's why the cat is like ostracized from the Soma family, or from the zodiac, which is why things are that way. It's a brief explanation. You can look it up for yourself if you want more of an explanation. I can't really go deep into it, I don't really know how to go that deep into it, but that's the cliff notes of what happened. So, how is Kyo's situation? So, the cat, when it comes to the Soma family, the cat is treated horribly. The cat is ostracized. Like, it's seen as such a terrible thing if you were the zodiac cat. Like, it's considered a terrible thing. The cat is ostracized, and also, after a certain point, the cat gets locked in a cage, and everyone just hates the cat. It's just, so that's made it really rough on Kyo. Not only being a part of the zodiac is like, it's seen as a curse enough already. It's a curse enough already. But being the cat is like next level. Like, if you're a zodiac, you're like, at least I'm not the cat. It's seen as horrible thing. So that's how Kyo does not get treated that well because he's a cat. And also, it's worth noting that Kyo lost his mother, when he was a little kid. He lost his mother. And his mother was the first one who pretty, cared for him, but I guess in the wrong way. Not in the wrong way, but she really did love him. But everyone else, when she died, everyone made it seem like it was Kyo's fault, when, spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was his father. It was Kyo's father who was a bad one here and who made her commit suicide. And everyone's like, it's your fault. You're the reason why your mother died. Da da da. And of course, you're blaming a child for his own mother's death. So that really that was really hard on him. Obviously, if you're putting that kind of pressure onto a child. And I'm just glad that Kazuma Sensei took him in. And Kazuma is another part of the Somas. He's not a zodiac, but he's a part of the Somas. And he took Kyo in, and he at first he said that he was take him in out of pity. But then he really grew to love Kyo, and that just, it's beautiful. He loves him like a son, and Kyo sees him as a father. Anyways. Also, it's worth noting that Kyo also has a bit of a temper. But he, over time, he calms down a bit, but especially over time, he becomes, a lot, more mellow, especially when he's at Tohru. He's really a bit, he tries to be nice to her, and it's so sweet to see. But yeah, that's a bit about Kyo. And now we're going to talk about Kyo and Tohru together. So let's talk about their relationship. I just want to say, I knew that they were endgame before anything even happened. Because Yuki's in the picture, and of course some people ship Yuki and Tohru. Some people ship Yuki and Tohru. So, and when the series first started, I was like, yeah, I kind of see it, but something felt off. Something felt a little off. The vibes are a little off. But I was like, maybe they're kind of cute. I thought it was going to be the mirror love triangle, whatever. But then Kyo came into the picture, and I knew the minute Kyo showed up, and also that run rooftop scene between him and Tohru, I knew that the minute that happened, I was like, they're endgame. Yuki was a non-factor for me. After Kyo came into the picture, Yuki was a non-factor. I knew that he didn't stand a chance. He never stood a chance. But that's just me. And one thing I like about their relationship is that over time you can tell he's a lot more gentle with her than when he first started. He's his tone of voice is a lot softer with her. You can hear it, because you know how Kyo yells a lot and he speaks very harshly. but when he talks to Tohru, like, he speaks in a lot more calmer voice, especially, like, again, over time. He started to speak a lot more calmly to her, and it's just so sweet to see them smile at each other, and it's just, my heart. And, another thing that, makes them good is because Tohru can lean on Kyo. She feels like she can't really lean on anyone else with her problems, but she's able to tell Kyo about her, she's able to burden him, for lack of a better word. She's able to I can't talk. She's able to burden him with her troubles and worries, because the one thing Tohru doesn't want to do is make trouble for anyone else. She's always apologizing. She always says she doesn't want to make trouble for anyone else. She doesn't want to burden anyone. But Kyo is the one person that she can confidently tell, or somewhat confidently tell, about her problems. And you can see it too. When it comes to Kyo, she'll tell him, even if it's just a little bit, she'll tell him about her concerns, like that. But she won't really tell anyone else that. She doesn't tell anyone else her concerns. Not Yuki, not even her friends, Uotani and Hanajima. She doesn't tell them anything. Not about, like, what's going on with her personally, but she can open up to Kyo. She feels like she can open up to him, and that is just so beautiful. Another thing is that Tohru accepted Kyo's true form. Now, you may be asking, true form? What are you talking about? So, here's the thing about the Zodiac cat. Okay, so Zodiac cat, they have, their cat form, whatever, but then they have a true form, which is just this monstrous looking thing. It's big. Apparently, it smells bad. But yeah, I'll put a picture up. But he has a true form, and Tohru was able to accept his true form. Now, think about, if you notice, Kyo wears, like, this bracelet on his wrist, and that bracelet is so, when he doesn't turn to his true form. That's his mother gave it to him. And the thing about, Kyo talked about this, and he was saying, like, what he didn't need from his mother to, be able to, like, basically hide the fact that, his true form was a thing. He didn't need that. He didn't need it to be, like, covered up or anything like that. What he needed was acceptance. And that's what Tohru gave him. Even though, he turned into a monster, basically, she still, accepted him. She ran right, and when he left, Tohru ran right after him. She went after him. And she held on to him because she knew that if she let him go, he wouldn't come back. And Kyo himself said that. Kyo said she knew that if she let me go, I would have never came back. And she held on to him so tight because she didn't want him to go. I need a minute. There was this Twitter thread that I found on Instagram, and it brought up a really good point about how the curse breaking relies on the cat being loved. So how to break the curse would rely on Kyo being loved. And it said in the thread that around the time that Kurono's curse broke would have been the time that Kyo was taken in by Kazuma, which really was besides his mother, the first person to, like, really, like, love him for real. You know what I mean? And you can see over time the curse getting weaker and weaker, and Kyo starting to be loved and accepted. And so what really would hit the nail in the coffin is Kyo accepting his love for Tohru, and Tohru accepting her love for Kyo. That's what did it. That's what broke the curse, because the cat was never loved. Ever. The cat was never loved. But now that it's a different time now, and now that Kyo is finally being loved by someone, that's what broke the curse. Here is why I love them. Here is why I love them as a couple. So first, the whole can you look past the monster inside trope. Now, you may be wondering, Alexis, what are you talking about? Let me explain. So the whole can you look past the monster inside trope, basically, it typically means that someone is like someone is typically like a bad person, or they may like actually have a monster inside them, like they may actually like have a demon inside them or something like that. And there is always that one person who can look past the monster inside and love them wholly and love them anyway. And that's how it is for Tohru and Kyo. I wish I could have some better examples of that whole trope. you could say Naruto, I guess. Maybe Black Clover, because, you know, they both have demons inside them. Maybe Adventure Time if you're talking about Marceline. Maybe. Anyways, there should be more of that trope, by the way. There should be more of that trope. The can you look past the monster inside trope? That is a good trope. They should be more of that. But that's beside the point. Anyways, so that's how Tohru and Kyo are, because Tohru was able to look past the monster inside. She was able to, you know, even though Kyo turned into his true form was monstrous, and even though she was afraid, she still went after him because she loved him. She loves him before she even knew she loved him. And she still wanted to live with him and to be with him. They also taught each other how to love. Tohru had a very warped sense of love since her mother died. So she believed that she couldn't hold any kind of love for anyone else or any type of romantic feelings for anyone, because if she were to do that, then that means she would be like abandoning her mother somehow. That was her way of thinking. So she thought that because if she were to love Kyo, that means that she wouldn't love her mother anymore. And, you know, that's why she probably was fighting her feelings so much. So, yeah, and being around Kyo, that taught her to kind of, you know, let go of that dependency that she has on her mother. And as for Kyo, he hardly got any love in that man hardly got any love in his life. You know, his father, abusive, his mom did love him. She wasn't perfect, but she did love him. But, you know, she died, and then Kazuma was the only one who loved him. Before Tohru, Kazuma was the only one who loved him. And even that started out as a pity. And then there's Kagura, but, you know, he doesn't reciprocate that. But, so they taught each other how to love. Like, the whole teaching each other how to love, that whole trope, that's just, I love it so much. And also, this brings up a good point about how love is irrational. Again, I saw this on Instagram. But they were just saying love is irrational. And that's the thing about Fruits Baskets that I like, is that it teaches you life lessons. Like, Fruits Baskets has taught me some life lessons. And one life lessons being that love is irrational, okay? You can try to reason with your feelings all you want, but love is just one of those emotions that you can't really reason with. You can't really try. There's no logical explanation. Like, for me, I feel like you can maybe say why you like someone, but no, it's more like I think you can say like the things that you love about a person, but to actually explain why you love that person, not just the things you like about them, but to actually explain why you love that person, I feel like that would actually be hard. Because love is an irrational feeling. Like Kagura said, once your heart latches onto someone, it's over. It's over. Once your heart latches onto someone, it's over. Because there's no rational reasoning for it. Love just happens. It just happens to anybody. It can happen to you. I wish it would happen to me. It doesn't. No one loves me, unfortunately. Anyways, let me stop before I start crying. Why I love them, they're also just a really sweet couple. Like, ugh. They have such sweet moments together. Like, you know, when they were together on the beach, because in season 2, when they were together on the beach, because everyone else was like, you know, going to see Akito or whatever. And so they were just together on the beach or whatever. And it's just, that was also really sweet. Oh, another sweet moment about the whole scene where this is another good life lesson, by the way, where Tohru was talking about, you know, her philosophy about the rice balls, and saying how, like, you know, everyone has, you know, something special about them. That's what she was saying. And then, like, and she was saying to Kyo, what was it? You have a plum right on your back. I can see it. And then Kyo was like, hey, you've got one too. I can see it. Like, that was like one of their early really sweet moments. Like, that was just so beautiful. Also, the I love you scene. Oh, God. The I love you scene. I'm gonna start crying. Where Kyo finally admitted that he loved Tohru. thing that Kyo said that I liked is when he kind of was going on that whole rant. Or, sorry, not rant, monologue. He was going on a monologue. And he was basically saying, he was talking about Tohru. And one of the things he said that she didn't fix everything that was broken. But that's not what I needed anyway. What mattered is that she stayed. And that is the key. That's what a lot of y'all don't understand. People feel like when people tell them about their problems, or when they have problems in life, other people feel the need that they have to fix those problems, or that they have to just find a solution to everything. No. That's wrong. I mean, I guess there are some situations where, yeah, maybe they want your advice or whatever. But usually, no. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to try and find a solution. What matters is that you're there, that you stay. That's what really matters. Like Kyo said, she did not fix everything that was broken. She didn't offer to solve all his problems. But what mattered was that she stayed. Also, I would like to say that one scene where Kyo, I love this quote so much. I love this quote so much where Kyo says, when did I start thinking stupid, sappy things like that? And why? It's almost like I'm like, it's almost like you what, Kyo? It's almost like you what? Anyways, this is why I say that they literally redefine love for you, redefine love for me, redefine love for the ages. This is why they're the best couple. You should be like them. You guys should be like Tohru and Kyo. Be like them. They're the best couple. They're the only couple that matters, by the way. I said what I said. Anyways, that's enough incoherent rambling for today. So if you guys like this video, please click like and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know who your favorite anime couple is. It's Tohru and Kyo. Because they're literally the best couple. As I stated the entire video. Anyways. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye.